This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy. Just drop in some details about yourself and see if you're eligible to save money when you bundle your home and auto policies. The process only takes minutes, and it could mean hundreds more in your pocket. Visit Progressive.com after this episode to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
The best of the Morning X.
99X.
Well, you may have read about this. You may have seen it in the newspaper and seen it on television. But the Ellenwood Kroger had a situation last week when the customer service desk at said Kroger told manager Michael Grant it had a problem. He took the buck by the horns. A confused 8-point buck deer wandered from the woods and entered the store Monday through the supermarket's automatic sliding glass doors.
And that would scare the crap out of me. You turn around corner 3 and there's a big 8-point buck.
An 8-point buck standing right there.
And probably freaked out.
Is that near a woods? Is that near like...
I don't know. We'll find out.
It's near the Ellenwood.
Let's go
Yeah,
to...
exactly.
Monster.
All right. Good morning, Mr. Grant. Michael Grant, you're the co-manager of the Ellenwood Kroger.
That's right.
First of all, where is Ellenwood?
It's a little bit south and east of Atlanta.
All right.
South and east.
So what kind of... Leslie mentioned must be near woods. What is the area like around there?
It's a growing, developing area, but there are a lot of woods around the area.
So, like, it's one of those areas where they're just tearing all the trees down to put up more homes and strip centers, so the the animals have nowhere to go.
Exactly.
And they're being flushed out.
So what happened? You got a call from who reporting the deer?
Our customer service desk, I believe it was Michelle at customer care. She called me up front.
That's usual, because usually I can't get the customer service people to do anything for me. So that's that's good that they were
Not at Kroger in Ellenwood, young man.
Not in Ellenwood. Okay, so she sees the deer, and what is that? Is there like a special code over the PA to alert somebody that there is wild game in the store?
No special code, no. She just paged me to the front of the store.
And at this point, what is the deer doing?
It's already to the back of the store in our produce area by that time.
Right to the produce, yeah.
See, great produce at Kroger.
So it's like grazing in that little area where it's... You know what I like about that area? They have it in the Kroger. You ever notice if you're walking by that right before the... you know how they have the sprinklers, the kind of shower?
Love that, yeah.
Well, the Kroger that I go to, the new one up there at Cherokee Plaza, it actually thunders right before...
Mine thunders, too.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love the mooing.
Thunder, Jimmy. It's not just your store.
Just your store.
I didn't know that. I thought that may be new. And I love the mooing as you go by the dairy section. Anyway, so
the deer, was it eating the produce or just...
No, it was freaking out back there.
What was it doing freaking out?
It was, it had kind of bumped into our seafood case.
Uh-huh.
And it knocked over a couple of buggies. Some ladies were standing there. They got kind of freaked out, too.
How many pounds would you say that deer was?
Probably about 150, 200, somewhere around there.
Well, if you want to find out how many pounds, you can find it right now in the meat section over there at the Ellenwood Kroger.
Stop it.
You can buy some nice venison steaks.
I'm sure the floor was kind of slippery for the deer as well.
I imagine so, but like I said, when I came back there, it had already made its way back into the produce prep room.
Well, were people screaming? I mean, there's a lot of ladies in the store. Were they freaking out?
By the time I got back there, there was no screaming.
I mean, was anybody in a panic at all?
Oh, yeah, they were backing up. They were getting away from the deer.
Did the deer at any time seem aggressive?
Yeah, was it charging anybody?
It was just scared. It looked pretty scared.
What does a scared deer look like? What was it doing? Just kind of going in circles?
It looked like a deer in headlights.
I knew you were going to say that.
Exactly. It was trying to get away from any person that saw it. It ran.
So what happened?
So when I got back there, I went back up to customer care, told them to call animal control and 911, try to get somebody out there. I went back there and I backed people away, and the deer's running around back in the produce prep room, and it jumps out. You know, we have an open enclosure right there between our sales floor and the produce prep room. Mm-hmm. Jumps out of there, knocks over some corn, and then it goes over to our green rack where we have the mirrors, and it tries to jump into the mirror for some reason. I guess it thought that was the way out.
Thought it was a window.
Exactly.
And then how did this whole situation get resolved? I mean, the thing just walk out? Did it what?
Well, from there, it galloped up towards the front of the store where it came in. It jumped over our deli section back into the area where the ladies cut the meat, and they're hiding in the coolers trying to stay away from the deer.
Now, are deer carnivorous?
No,
they're not. Okay.
But I'm still following it, keeping people back, and it jumps out of the deli area, breaks the register over there towards our restaurant area, where we have plate glass windows and tables and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And it tries to jump out the plate glass windows, and it breaks one of the tables. I mean, it's unsuccessful getting out of the window.
Oh, so it just keeps jumping anywhere it sees a window or a reflection.
Pretty much.
Yeah, this is weird because these animals normally are, normally a deer, the deers get spooked very easily, but I guess because of all the development in the area, they're not as afraid of people as you might think.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm guessing that's what would cause it to wander into a Kroger.
Who finally got it out?
So now it's in the delicatessen area or in the eating area.
Yeah, what happens?
Right there it's pretty trapped, though, and there's a crowd starting to form around it.
You don't want that, man. If it's trapped, it's going to start just really freaking out.
Exactly. So that's when I grabbed it by the horns.
You literally grabbed it by the horns?
Right.
Way to grab the deer by the horns.
Exactly.
And so 150-pound deer is not that big of a deer, I guess, compared to,
Well,
yeah.
I don't hunt or anything like that, so...
I gotta believe it weighs more than 150.
Yeah, that's a small deer.
I mean, that's a doe, a deer.
A female deer. Hey.
So you grabbed,
when you
was
think
it
about
sunny
the horns,
out?
What did you drag it out, or what did?
No. Once I grabbed it by the horns, I kind of held its head down so it doesn't kick me, and about maybe 15, 20 seconds later, I've got about 5 other guys come over there and help me. They grab its legs and help me grab its horns, and we got it down on the ground.
Oh, you didn't lure it outside?
No. It was that probably would have been too much for me.
So you wrestled it to the ground,
Right.
and I'm sure it's kicking and stuff.
Well, like I said, the other guys had its legs, so it was trying to kick. Yes.
And then, how did you get it from the ground to the outside? Well, I'm sure somebody there down in Ellenwood had like a 12 gauge.
No, it was we taped up its legs so it couldn't kick us, and by that time, animal control and the police arrived, and we kind of expected them to bring a tranquilizer or something to calm the deer down, but they said they left it at McDonough or something like that.
Wow, can you imagine
they left
how
the tranquilizers in McDonald's?
We left the tranquilizer in McDonough.
So
how many times does that happen?
Was the deer released back into the woods?
It was no. They.
Oh yes. By that time, we had covered its eyes to keep it from freaking out even more, and we picked it up and carried it across the street to a field over there that led to the woods, and we let it go.
We're talking to Michael Grant at the Ellenwood Kroger, who found a deer, an 8-point buck, in his store. That's
Man, I
strange.
guess in the Kroger manual, when you became a manager, there was never anything in there about wrestling a deer or deer coming into the store.
Well, wildlife.
You had to think on your feet.
Exactly.
Good work, Michael.
Thank you.
Now, somebody here knows a little bit about deer.
Well, I used to hunt. I hunted for about, 11 years, and 150-pound buck is a pretty good-sized deer.
Is it really?
It
doesn't seem like a big deer.
I thought, bucks are huge. I thought bucks are...
At least a couple hundred.
Yeah. No?
Well, doe, probably about the average doe is probably somewhere around 120.
But a buck is a male deer. Now, forgive me, people. I don't hunt, so I don't know all this. A buck has the antlers, right? Or does a female have antlers?
Yeah, the
too?
Well,
buck.
it depends. No, normally, majority of the time, a buck only has antlers.
Right, only the male, and I thought they were a lot bigger than the doe.
Traditionally, they are.
Because 150, I thought a buck is 8-point. Is that a big buck?
You're looking at me. I don't hunt. I don't know.
It's about average.
Is it now, Michael? Michael, I see here on the AJC story that you did have some people who decided to take refuge inside the deli's walk-in cooler. Is that true?
That's true.
When
they jumped over the counter, like I said, into the back deli area where the ladies cut the meat, they hid in the coolers, which was probably a really good idea.
That's funny that the two people who were the most afraid were the people working in the meat department cutting meat.
Well, they're only used to them when they're dead and not running. All right, thank you, Michael.
Oh, you're welcome.
All right.
Monster. You're listening to the best of the Morning X. We had to call it something. 99X.
I am Michael Rosenbaum.
I am Tom Welling.
Welcome to Talkville,
where it's fun to talk about Smallville.
We're going to be talking to sometimes guest stars.
Are you liking the direction Lois is going in?
Yeah, because I'm getting more screen time.
It's good.
But mostly it's just me and Tom remembering.
I think we all feel like there was a scene missing here.
You got me, Tom.
Let's revisit it. Let's look at it. See what we remember.
See what we remember.
I had never been around anything like that before. I mean, it was so fun.
Talkville.
Talkville.
I just had a flashback.
Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Let's get into it.